Professional sports is another way for the young to make major bucks. Just ask the two top-ranking women in tennis, Serena and Venus Williams. These sexy sisters dominate the sport. By 2003, Serena alone was worth $13 million.
Listen, this deal sounds too good to be true. Are you trying to set us up? I mean, we've made some deals before, but this can't be legal.
The Williams sisters, while they don't appear on the Forbes 100 list, if someone took the time to present value the incomes that they're likely to amass over their lives, they belong there.
If you think that's impressive, check out 6'8", 240-pound LeBron James. In 2003, the 18-year-old was drafted into the NBA straight out of high school. LeBron's size and his skills on the court prompted experts to dub him the next basketball prodigy. In fact, before James was even drafted by an NBA team, Nike signed him on for 7 years as a spokesman for a tidy $90 million. That's about $13 million a year. To put that in perspective, the average American teenager earning minimum wage would have to work 130 years to make LeBron money. Can you say bling bling?
An athlete with that much potential, if he's managed properly early in his career, and that athlete understands that they're more than just an athlete today, that they are a brand in and of themselves.
But few millionaire teenagers have been as efficient at branding as the Olsen twins. Mary-Kate and Ashley burst into the Hollywood scene at the ripe old age of 9 months on the sitcom Full House. The girls are now two of the richest people in show business.
I'm Mary-Kate. I'm Ashley.
After Full House was canceled in 1995, the twins and their manager began Dual Star Entertainment Group, which markets clothes, dolls, magazines, games, and their very popular home videos.
The Olsen twins are probably the best example of the new business model in entertainment, where the entertainer becomes a human brand. And it was a brilliant strategy, and I think we're going to see more of that. We see examples of that with Sean John and J-Lo, but nothing quite as organized as what they've done.
The Olsen fortune is estimated to be anywhere between $80 to $150 million. But here's the good news. Despite all that money, the twins have earned a reputation for being incredibly modest. They don't splurge much. A personal hairdresser, private school, and matching Range Rovers top the list of major expenditures. Maybe there's an upside to earning the millions on your own.
Children that are born into wealth take the money for granted and their surroundings for granted, whereas kids who suddenly become wealthy, it's very exciting, it's very different, and there's a big difference in their lifestyle.
Whether you're born rich or work your way to wealth, there has to be time to play. In a moment, elite hipster Fabian returns with a whirlwind tour, an insider's guide to an East Coast getaway for the young and privileged.
We're just waiting for an escort to go in.
Many middle-class American teenagers work part-time to earn money for school or to buy a car. For the young and rich, work isn't always in their vocabulary.
The advantages of being wealthy as a young person is that you don't have to worry about money. And that's something most of us do have to worry about. You don't have to worry about where you're going to get your next meal. You don't have to worry about where you're going to sleep. You don't have to worry about who's going to pay for your education or whether or not you can have that car you always wanted.
You can choose how you spend your time, where you spend your time, who you spend your time with, how you travel. Having money gives you options.
But being young and rich can be a double-edged sword.
I think it's a terrible disadvantage. The chances of coming out a decent human being if you're a spoiled rich kid are nil.
I think you miss out a lot when you just sort of like breeze through, you know what I mean? Like I traveled in Australia and like hostel and like stayed in hostels. That was the best time of my life, and it's because I couldn't afford anything else, you know? So I think you miss out a lot when you sort of go on the fast track.
It's easy to assume that all rich kids are spoiled, but their lives are not always a walk in the park.
It's very rare that you will find a child with that much wealth that doesn't have some type of escort, whether it be an armed driver or someone that's specifically assigned to security. And that in and of itself creates issues.
These kids need a lot more than just money to live the good life.
A parent, and if they want to do these kinds of things, it has to be done through the guardian.
Even if there's no guardian doling out the cash, other rules keep reckless behavior in check.
Oftentimes what families try to do is they set up trust funds for their kids, and they might have strings attached in the trust funds that say if they graduate from college, they'll get some lump sum distribution from their trust fund.
That puts them in limbo where they're kind of waiting to get money in terms of till they become of age or to see what happens. They really don't get their own life started.
I've seen trusts set up where children at the age of 18 have immediate control over principal. I've seen trusts where children never have control over principal. It's preserved for future generations. That's an individual choice, and each person that's setting up a trust plans it differently.